Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7, Episode 11, Brand New Day. This is the penultimate week of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The finale is happening in a I'm not okay with the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is about to end. I am loving this season, even if I had a bit of a breakdown last episode with Daisy, so that was too much. I am still slightly concerned that this series is going to end with it being like, and it's like the show never happened, they're in a universe. I'm trying to like make myself okay with that as an ending because, well, it would have still have happened for the characters, they've still lived that, so it's not quite as dire as it seems, but I'm very stressed about that. And I am really looking forward to, at some point, I feel like Daisy has got to go nuclear on Nathaniel, and I'm here for that. But I'm loving the season. I feel like we might actually get some Fitz answers this episode, which, you know, he's got to be in it surely, at least by the end credit scene, if not in the middle of the episode, which I imagine he'll be in. But I'm very ready for this episode. I'm very excited. I'm very terrified. I cannot lie. And I'm trying not to be too sad about the fact that my favourite show is about to end. If you would like to check out my unedited version of this reaction, you can go to my Patreon, where you can also sponsor me to watch shows. Plus, I've got my first poll up. It's running for this week till Monday on what show I will watch. What shows I will do next, which will come to YouTube eventually. They'll be up unedited on Patreon and up early on Patreon as edited. But yes, I'm ready for S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's go. Oh, Daisy.
They didn't jump.
Oh.
Okay.
Daisy, let me hug her, please. She needs me to hug her. Or someone. Susan can hug her. Or May.
Daisy, I can feel your guilt. This isn't your fault.
It really isn't.
Make a man witness, Daniel.
Oh, Daisy. She's killing me already. I do not trust Cora. I want to, but I do not trust her. She was so easily swayed to the bad side.
You must be Daisy.
Yes.
Where did they take Simmons to help?
How exactly?
Sure you are. I believe you.
I want to be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, cool. No. We can't trust her. She joined Nathaniel so easily. And I know she's vulnerable, and I know that, like, with therapy and stuff, we could save Cora. But that doesn't mean we just support her and help her. Sybil surely would have told them Deke was on board. I'm stressed because he's one person against many. So Sybil did tell them? Are they going to use him against Simmons? Like, unlock the driver will hurt Deke or something?
We may be predictable, but so is the enemy, because they're always planning to ruin our day.
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm a perfect candidate. The perfect instrument.
You literally just joined Nathaniel.
Like it was your priority.
But our goal is to reduce suffering, believe me.
I've suffered plenty at his hands.
Yeah.
What do you mean, instrument?
Exactly.
History.
I don't trust her. I wanted to love Cora, and I don't.
Spared with it. They didn't deserve to die.
And your mom.
It's also the proof you need.
Proof that this is a new timeline.
Yeah. We've been discussing this.
That old one that you were fighting to preserve is long gone.
Yeah.
Director. To save thousands of innocent lives.
It sounds like Project Insight with a fancy new bow on it.
Plus,
These
as
are
well,
names you know.
this.
History knows committed unspeakable
I mean,
acts.
I can understand this. It's like, would you kill baby
We're not
Hitler?
a death squad.
But also,
You could say that.
Nathaniel is going around wanting anarchy. That is not the
And
same
that
thing.
Daisy would say, you believe in S.H.I.E.L.D.? There must be a reason.
I don't trust this. I mean, Daisy could sway anyone to join her side because they're so awesome and existing, but no.
I thought I had a happy childhood.
But you did. You had your mum.
Didn't you?
Exactly.
Every child loves her mother. I'm sorry.
You had a
didn't get
happier
that.
childhood than Daisy did, so
I'm
get
sorry
over
you
your
threw it
own.
away.
There is no future where Daisy Johnson lets her sister fight alone.
Oh, goodness. What does that mean? Is there some extra meanings in
She's
this?
right.
Is that Simmons? Is Simmons her sister?
Maybe it's you. Maybe you're not equipped.
I cannot wait for Daisy to quake this bastard into pieces. Oh no.
John, bring in the grandson.
I knew this was gonna happen. Oh god. What is Daisy doing? I love her beyond my own self.
Hey, I was just coming to...
Oh, Susan. Bless their hearts.
Different.
I know that you want to help, believe me. I
Oh.
know, but just for once, don't, okay?
She
Oh.
doesn't lead you.
I already have a sister to save.
I told you!
Her name is Gemma Simmons.
Yes, it is. Oh my god,
We're in
this
the
is
rest of
everything.
you on foot.
As long as you know what you're doing.
Just get the chick or she doesn't. I love this so much. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm just really like.
Fail.
Oh, they are a team.
Done this 0 times.
How are you going to get the hangar doors open without Authorization.
He looks like he's equipped to come with.
Authorization granted.
This is everything, I love it. Sorry, just
Give me that seat before I change my mind.
Mac, Daisy and Sousa on a mission.
Why don't you take a run at her?
See, I could potentially see her being sincere about Daisy, but Nathaniel's plan is to cause anarchy. It's not. I don't want to see this.
He's got
I
nothing.
really don't want to see this.
Around in her brain.
Oh,
How is she blocking me?
oh, Deke's gonna tell her, and I don't tell him, and I don't blame him. Oh no, he's just gonna see it.
Never mind. If you think that you can. That's from.
Oh, he's never been to space before. This is like, oh, ugh, nothing to them. But to Sousa.
We will freeze to death in the dark void of space. So buckle up, Danny boy.
I love this, I love them. I just, too many feelings and I'm stressed and
I want to talk to her.
doesn't
I
get.
can feel your
Poor girl in Bahrain.
She was out of control.
She was, there was no other
I made peace
choice.
with that a
There was
while
genuinely no other choice. Oh no, is this the plan? Oh god, they're gonna escape.
Lowered our firewalls.
Oh, was that their plan all along? I mean, she took her time doing it if it was.
You just said you know what it's like to be code.
Oh yeah, can he read code?
We have these things called phones. Now I know you millennials like
See-
to use them just for taking pictures of yourselves, but in the
I'm
80s,
here for a
we
future
actually use them to talk
where
to each other.
people,
I'm serious.
they can stay in
We're not just
touch.
gonna turn
but
into the.
you can stay really close even if you're far apart. One of my best friends lives in Canada. It's okay,
You guys
Daisy.
are my family.
It's okay, Daisy.
I don't know who I am without you guys.
Daisy,
No, it's.
Oh, this is not okay. I'm not.
you know exactly who you are. Really subtle,
Stop.
cool.
He's making her laugh. That's good.
In the time loops we
Kissed.
kissed. Whatever. He's a dork.
You see, that's messed up because he doesn't remember that.
Then why are you smiling?
Because Yo-Yo owes me $20.
I love it.
It won't be the same.
It won't.
But it'll still be good, Daisy. You'll still be family. Families that don't see each other every day normally.
That's okay.
Oh god, no, this is like a direct message to the fans. We are Daisy. I'm like, I'm not okay.
But
Sorry, I'm not okay. I genuinely can't deal with the trauma of all this. I mean, I'm hoping Deke's gonna launch like an escape right now, but I just need like some time to like exist with that conversation between Dak, Daisy and Mac. Their friendship, the name I've invented. Like, it's so true. I'm trying so hard to like we all are to come to terms with the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending. I mean, we're all dreaming of spin-off shows that we can keep some of the characters, but there's no guarantee of that. But just change doesn't have to be bad. Change is scary. I am someone that like dreads change and like cries my way through it, but it can be good. And I mean, they are going to, I imagine, they will fracture. Like, I imagine Mac and Yo-Yo will potentially now be going off and settling down, or at least going off and doing something else. Fitzsimmons, I've always thought would end up going off and settling down. And I don't know about May, I don't know what Coulson's choices are going to be, but Daisy, I think, will always want to do something S.H.I.E.L.D. related, especially if there is no record of her existing in this timeline, because she was never born. But I like the concept that their timeline is out there. Their timeline is now just very much in peril because it no longer has them. But it is true that chains, they can all find different paths, and in a way it's up to you how in contact you stay with people. You know, like, I have best friends who I went to school with and I used to see them every day, and now we message once every 6 months. Then I have best friends who I went to school with and we message every day. I befriended someone on Tumblr who lives in Canada, and we text constantly when we're both awake every day. So I mean, she's we can meet in person. Like, you can still be super close with people. And I know Daisy growing up didn't have a family, but normal families, you don't see them all the time. You maybe email occasionally, and then you meet up on holidays, and then, like, you know, if you are lucky enough to live close, you can see each other a bit more often. But, you know, families can still be close and still love each other and still be family without seeing each other every single day. So they're all going to be okay. It's just going to be a horrible change. And that conversation was so, like, for us, and I'm not okay. Surely this is where it cuts out. Surely that just cuts out now.
Sybil's looking for something.
He's
Communication
reading.
files. I've got a new superpower I'm very busy with, but so are
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
We're not who we used to be.
You're Daisy's parents. You can be surrogate parents to Cora too. Yo-Yo behind you. Yo-Yo, you're not watching The Cell? Seriously? I mean, she runs very fast. I'm not too worried about Yo-Yo in this particular moment, but
Not heroes, hitmen.
you were a
Now
poor,
owe their lives to
traumatized
him,
girl that,
and so do you.
with fullness of time,
We want you to stop helping
you're
Nathaniel and
you're
the
different.
Chronicles
The rest of them,
chaos.
he saved you
The
to mess with
Terrorists
Daisy.
for the timeline.
She's restored with that bit of the timeline.
And Sousa would be next, or
Or we start checking names off your list. Not a chance.
If you touch Caesar, I kill you.
Grant Ward,
Yeah. Off we go.
Rosalind, Lincoln.
Is Garrett
Let's do it. Let's kill
Because
Ward.
it was your Messiah
Push him
who
on. Kill him.
made Ward who he was.
Without Garrett, Ward would have been worse.
We've seen
This is who I am.
Does she know
Who I'm
Young's
meant
dead?
to
I
be.
think. Oh,
Someday, I'm gonna show her that.
oh no, you're not.
Reserve oxygen. Copy that.
Oh, bless his heart. Go talk to
What are your
Daisy.
intentions
Oh my god, Big Brother speech.
with Daisy?
Big Brother speech, yes.
Have any intentions?
Well, then you better get some. And quick.
This is
Because this thing
everything.
is coming for you.
Oh,
This
yeah.
thing.
And when she does,
Mm-hmm.
watch out. Because when she gets something into her head,
She won't stop. Yeah.
Daisy's been hurt. Bad.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy she's ready to dive back in, and I'm
Me
happy it's
too.
you to let her get hurt again.
Me neither. This was so me when she was
You
potentially.
know what I'm saying?
Oh, but I trust
I
Caesar.
think so. I think you.
Every member of this team.
Yeah.
And we have technology at S.H.I.E.L.D. that you've never even seen.
I hear you.
Oh, this is me. I am Mac.
I would never hurt her.
The man out of time and Quake. It's like a damn comic book.
Spin-off show.
You just quake.
Why does that mean something to him?
Do you not hear how hilarious that sounds?
So he thinks they're ridiculous now. I love it. I love it so much. It's so funny.
Enough to spare.
No, no, no. These are memories we do not want to be accessing.
You'll be getting a bit jealous.
Are we gonna see Fitz? There he
All the
is.
time you two are spending together.
Hey Fitz, we missed you.
I think we
Time machine.
I'm ready for this, but I don't want it because Nathaniel's figuring it out.
Well,
Oh, and we get to see Enoch again.
Yes.
to
How much time did they take?
Fitz.
we built another world.
They got married again because he's wearing a wedding ring.
Be.
They got married without the team? Guys. Renew your vows when you find them.
No.
What blood work?
And yeah,
What blood work?
but because we deserve it,
What blood work?
regardless.
Is Gemma pregnant?
Your last memories together?
How is... The implant is rubbish. Oh. I'm not entirely sure where my feelings are with Cora right now. They're all over the place, but this is not something anyone wants to have to go through. Can you revive her with your powers, please?
Go on.
You helped this. And it's because she was vulnerable. Cora is the person I blame least in Nathaniel's plan, but I'm still not sure about her.
A quake. Where's my sister?
You know who did this, Cora?
No, he must have had a reason.
Nope. He hates Daisy. He's on a vendetta against her.
Protecting Daisy from him.
Yep. What are you gonna do, Cora? Protecting Daisy is everyone's #1 mission, because I say so.
No.
This is horrible!
Be okay. It's gonna be okay.
This is very horrible. Oh dear, it's happened. Is he Sybil? Is he dead, but his mind is inside the implant? What is happening?
Okay.
Am I okay?
Oh.
Are you okay?
Oh, I
What
love
happened in
them.
there?
Who's Fitz?
Oh, for God's sake. Has she lost every memory? What's happening?
Nathaniel isn't using me.
He is. He murdered your mother.
saved
He didn't need to murder your mother.
He's using my pain.
She's giving you the truth, Cora.
I'm capable.
Your plan caused this to happen.
What's inside?
Cora, come on. Oh, is this Garrett? Seriously.
What are you, like a computer genius now?
Yes.
I just love that. Yes.
We have here shield bases.
Are they
Moving from the hub to didn't go to space to hide.
killing everyone? Oh god, we need to get on to the bloody finale, aren't we? I'm stressed.
Thank you.
Welcome. Quake?
Sorry, what now?
No, I'm just happy to help, Quake. Whatever you need.
Oh god.
Are you being funny?
Is it funny? Not if that's what you like to be called. Quake?
The press called me that.
Yeah,
I
you should
never-
probably put a Q on your utility bill so people know it's you.
Hey, I make fun of the person who can literally turn you to dust.
Yeah, you can quake me. No, I get it. That's why they call you.
Oh my god, this is so cute. I'm gonna die. Oh god, now what's happening? What? Oh no, is this the Chronicons?
Came up here.
I thought I was gonna get a Daisy and Fitz a kiss. No thank you. No thank you. And we can rebuild, but what the hell? This is gonna be a terrible timeline. This is gonna be the worst timeline. We need to go back even further and fix it, right? We need to fix this somehow, right? Ugh.
Just getting started.
Just kill him, please.
Without you.
Cora, you need to make better choices.
So many.
Cora, you literally... I think she's probably going to come to our side in the next 2 episodes, but... Ugh, this was not the kiss I wanted this episode! Where was my Daisy and Susa kiss? And you give me this! Oh, woman, you know he murdered your mother. Cora's playing him like Daisy had to play Ward, right? Cora's playing him like Daisy had to play Ward in season 1. That is what I'm going for, because I need Cora in the next episode to make better choices. So that was a fantastic episode, of course it was. I actually think that was like the perfect penultimate. I know there's 2 episodes left, but like this was the penultimate because that's a 2-part finale. This was the perfect lead into the finale. Like we got some real kind of quiet, grounded moments with various different characters. Then there was lots of action. It felt really like part 1 of 3, I can't lie. Like how I'm so glad by the way we're gonna. I mean, I'm devastated we're getting the next episodes back to back because it's 1 more week of Shield rather than 2. But at the same time, this cliffhanger's killing me. No thank you to any more. So yeah, like I can't even begin to comprehend everything. I'm so glad we finally got to see Fitz. You know, I was feeling fairly optimistic we'd get some sign of him, even if it wasn't physically fit in this episode. And I am glad that we began to get answers, and we know that they got married in that time because he had his wedding ring on. Maybe they took some more of that time together. They said goodbye in a house that looked like in the Chronicom communication room. That might have just been that they were already separated at that point. Fitz was already wherever he's going to be and Gemma was already wherever she was. I don't think that necessarily means Fitz is Sybil or Fitz is in the Chronicom system. But we definitely got some really important information there, and the fact as well that like the blood work. Now, is Gemma pregnant? Is that the thing? The blood work could well be something innocent like the pregnancy, and therefore the theory that she's so upset because she's forgotten Fitz and forgotten her child. I could see that being a thing, and I know that it was called Diana after Elizabeth's engagement ring. I know that that's the thing, but like it also would be another nod to that if they then named the child Diana. If that's why she called it Diana, because like she liked the name and it kind of was a weird way of remembering. So I do feel like the blood work seems really dire and ominous. And like, I suppose maybe it could be blood work that was suggesting she was pregnant but wasn't definitely saying she was pregnant yet. I don't know how blood work works. Because your immediate thought is like, in the episode, it didn't occur to me. Your immediate thought is like, oh my god, one of them's dying, like Fitz has cancer. I don't think it's going to be that. I think the showrunners love the relationship so much. They love the Fitzsimmons fans so much. They've given Fitzsimmons so much screen time over the seasons and given so much time to them. To just kill one of them off in the finale would be stupid. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be something innocent, like either, you know, she's got the baby, or like maybe Fitz is ill but he can be saved. You know, I'm pretty sure it's a baby, but maybe they did take that time to have the baby, and that's why she's the guilt of forgetting, because the concept of forgetting that you had a child would be pretty horrible to when you remembered, I suppose, even though like as much as that would be a bit guilty, I don't know that it would be quite that level of guilt, because unless you're forgetting is her child in the other timeline? That could be it. If her child's left in another timeline, then she's probably abandoned that kid. So actually, maybe there would be guilt there now. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces of information there. I like that we got to see Enoch again. I love that we got to see Fitz. Like seeing Ian, I was like, he's real. So yeah, I am very intrigued. For a minute, when Fitz said, like, do we have to? I was like, well, are you seriously going to be like, we could let the team die and just live our lives together? Because that was his beginning of season 6 attitude, was Jem is all that matters. So I was very glad when he just meant take some time, because he was correct. They could just take some time. That was okay. So yeah, that was really good to finally get to see him. I loved getting to see Deke and Simmons' like bond. That's one of my favourite parts this season has been their bond. I think she's always been the one that's been closer to Deke, but they just get on really well, and I just really enjoy that. Obviously it was also very traumatic with torture and stuff. I hate Nathaniel so much. Daisy, I'm very looking forward to the fact that they're going to get a showdown, and like Cora can help if she's going to be good. I'll get to Cora in a minute, but I'm gonna want Daisy to be the one to end him, and I want him to look as scared as he did in the last episode when she was gonna bring down the entirety of Lighthouse and River's End or whatever that town is called on his head. But yeah, that was a lot with Fitzsimmons. I also really enjoyed, like, Coulson kind of like had a little bit of a backseat this episode. I love that you're still using powers, but I love that they've kind of, it makes sense that he is code. Like, he keeps going on about how, you know, am I happy that you're okay, Daisy, or is it just code in my brain telling me that? But, you know, he is at one with code, so he's able to code, and I think he could survive, and then Daisy could teach him, like, oh, so that thing you just did, that was this. I don't know, they could just hack together and it'd be really sweet. Father and daughter team. He'd be even better than her now, like, probably is code, because, you know, like, he can just think it into being. But that was just, I really enjoyed that, and the fact that Coulson was like, went from like, no, I can't do that, to I'm doing that, to, yeah, I've got a superpower now. I also enjoy that May is leaning into her empathy. I think that's such a cool thing to give May. Going from like season 1 where she shut down, she had no emotions. She, you know, like, we saw as the viewer that she did have emotions, but she put it out to the team as though she didn't, which worked to the point that when we were working out who's working with the clairvoyant, I never really thought May was evil. I knew that was good. I was like pretty sure that was going to be a double bluff, but you know, you have that tiny moment of maybe she is, because you're just so unsure about her, and then over the course of the show she's let her emotions out much more. And I think they're just doing such a good job of like bringing up Bahrain. Now, bringing up the cavalry, because obviously that's horrible and heartbreaking, and Cora just throwing it in her face. Like, in that situation, that was all May could have done. You know, if she'd let the little girl kill her, she would have then killed lots of other people. There was no right way out of that situation. And she chose the best of a terrible bunch. But I think it's really important that that's almost being thrown in her face, just in the sense that for her character, she has come on this journey, and now she's here, and she's able to confront that and be like, I did what I had to do. There was no other choice. You know, I feel awful about it. I had to do it. And I think that just shows how far she's come, and I love May. I also like her kind of trying to be like she was with Daisy, with Cora. Cora is a lot more unstable than Daisy. But I did enjoy kind of her having to lean into that side of it a little bit more, and her fighting is still epic. And I'm just stressed. Also, I'm trying to, before I get to the bigger bits for me, which is Daisy and Caesar and Mac. Cora. Oh dear. Now Cora, ever since I found out Daisy had a sister, I have desperately wanted Daisy to have that relationship, because as much as Daisy has a sister, like she said, Simmons is her sister, and they are a family. They are that close, and that will never change. Having Cora would not change that. But she's such a hard one, because obviously in the original timeline she killed herself, and that is horrific, and she did it because she didn't know what else to do. She had no other way out. She wasn't sure, like, she couldn't stop herself. If she'd have had an ISA, maybe she would well have done that. And, you know, you could see in other circumstances, Daisy could have ended up down that path. When she first had her powers and she couldn't control them, she was able to just ice herself. But, you know, she was able to turn her abilities inwards and inflict severe pain on herself. If she hadn't started to do that, where would she have ended up? Especially with the rest of the team being so afraid and being like, she's the one we should be afraid of. And, you know, they weren't speaking out hatred for Daisy, they were speaking out their own fear and misery and, you know, too much going on. So you can kind of see parallels with their past, just their different circumstances. And I have such hope for Cora still. But she also, every time I get hope for her, she's like, I'm going to be awful now. But I really did enjoy that one scene. I enjoyed Daisy slamming her into the wall, because, like, we all need to do that. And I think I love the fact that in the beginning of this episode, they didn't forget Daisy's mental state from the previous episode. They didn't forget that they left her with her mother's body on the floor. Her mother died trying to save her. The same woman that in an alternate timeline had tried to kill her, but like the woman she never got to grow up with. She got to see the good, wonderful version of her mother who then died trying to save her, and then to find out that in this timeline she's not going to be... Like, Daisy was going through hell. And I really appreciate the show for not being like, oh, she just shrugged it off. You know, like, she felt it. She was at the very beginning, she felt it, she took it out on Cora a little bit, and then because she's Daisy, because she's a hero, she was able to put that aside, she was able to get on with the mission, she was able to kind of cope with it, because that's what they all have to do. Mac is doing, I mean, it's been more time with him, but they're all doing that with various things, but I think I'm really thankful to the show for showing that. But Cora, their scene where, you know, Cora's like, I want to be your sister, we can be sister superheroes, it's so hard in the sense that we cannot trust her right now, and I think basically she's currently on a knife edge. Her next decision, if she chooses to work behind Nathaniel's back, help Simmons and leak out, potentially spot Daisy's ship and help, you know, if she works to help them, then I will forgive her for what she's done. I think she'll potentially need some counselling, but we'll get into that after the show. I'm sure they'll all go to counselling. But I think, like, there is a lot that she would need to atone for, but I also think, given that she was so desperate, felt so alone and powerless despite how powerful she was, that her only choice was to kill herself because no one else would understand and she didn't want to hurt everyone. She was very easily manipulated, which isn't good, but I do also think that she was in that extremely vulnerable position. And in a way, for me, this almost parallels Ward, because season 1, I remember saying at various points when I watched it, I didn't react, so it's not online, like, on what he does next, that's pivotal for him. And then, you know, what he did next was be like, Daisy, you know, if you don't tell me everything, I'm gonna let Mike torture you. And then get really mad when Mike tortured him instead. And then I was like, okay, well, you know, he didn't actually let anyone, so what he does next, and then he shoved Fitzs in, like, every step of the way with Ward, until the point where, quite early on in season 2, it was like, well, redemption is out the window for you. Whereas with Cora, she's still on that knife edge. She can still make the better choices. Or she can be like, oh, S.H.I.E.L.D. sucks, and I'm gonna decide that Daisy and my mum are being told Nathaniel his outfit looks stupid, and that's why he killed her. Like, you know, the very fact that Nathaniel has this weird obsession with Daisy, and not a good obsession like I have, he probably only saved Cora. She was useful in taking the place, but to stab Daisy, to get at Daisy that little bit more. I'm hoping Cora's gonna make the right choices, basically. I enjoyed their scene. I think, in a way, it would be really nice if, despite Daisy losing the world she came from, Daisy losing her own existence, I mean, legally speaking, Daisy will still breathe. It's not, you know, she'll be alive, we'll get to see her. I'm glad the show addressed the alternate timeline thing, because it was very confusing. And it's been very confusing. I was kind of assuming that this is where we were going, that timeline's still out there, which is a little bit reassuring, but for them, it's not. So I just, it hurts to think about. But I really enjoyed that scene and her kind of wanting to be a sister with Daisy, and the fact that May said she thought it was sincere. Now, I hope it is sincere, but at the same time, she's still very volatile. And, you know, for a second there, she genuinely thought Daisy had killed Jane and she was going to go off and murder her, which it's like, you've killed a lot of people. So I'm hopeful for Cora. I think the team have got started to get through to her, and, like, hopefully if she continues to see, like, Nathaniel being like, yes, but we've killed loads of people, you know, his plan, he killed S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and while yes, there were a lot of Hydra people in S.H.I.E.L.D., while yes, we can have a very lengthy discussion about whether or not S.H.I.E.L.D. tactics were good or bad when it was a functioning organisation like it used to be. You know, S.H.I.E.L.D. did some dodgy things, none of us trying to deny that, but they were still good people, they were still, their aim was still good, apart from the Hydra agents, but, like, killing all these people was not the correct move. You know, I could totally vaguely think if, well, you know, if we killed Ward, fine. If we kill, but then by the same logic, it shouldn't, on Matt Nathaniel's list, Gideon be on the list because he helped bring Hive back. You know, I just think Cora's been very naive in following Nathaniel, and I'm hoping that she's going to wake up to the truth and become an awesome sister for Daisy. And yes, I'm stressed about that, but she is on the ship, and it would be quite interesting in a way if with the two sisters they each had to parallel, you know, having this boyfriend that you think, or this person you're starting to get feelings for, and then you find out that actually they're evil. Now for Cora, you know, the signs were all there and she walked straight past them, whereas with Daisy, we were pretending he was good. So it's not the same, but it is very much something we can parallel. So I'm hoping that. Now onto my favourite thing of the whole show. As you know, Daisy, this episode was beautiful in my, like, it was so wholesome with that regard. It was so great because we got to see Fitz. It was so great because the other characters did so much awesome stuff. I'd say probably this episode, Yo-Yo was the one in the backseat, which, you know, like, Daisy wasn't even in one episode. This happens. But we still got to see her using her powers and being awesome, so that was good. But, just, I love that Daisy, the minute Cora was like, your sister fighting alone. Now there's still a tiny chance that Sybil like meant Gemma, but I love that Daisy was like, okay, cool, I'm not gonna leave my sister alone. See your sister. I went off to find Gemma and said like, hey, she's not my only sister. Gemma Simmons is my sister. Like that was everything. I love that Sousa is still being like, no, I'm not letting you go. It's not safe. It's like, you know, like for that, I've seen so many people like you rushing headlong into danger, getting into a terrible situation. If you just had backup, it would all be better. I love that. And then when she's like, actually, yeah, we need to go away from what Sybil would expect. You're coming. And then Mac just joining in, like everything about that was wholesome. And like the whole thing when he was like, so you've flown this before, right? You know what you're doing? And Daisy was like, can't be that hard. It was brilliant. And then Mac coming along and just their whole dynamic was everything. And I love that conversation that Mac and Daisy had. I need to rewatch it because it really felt like they were talking to the fans. I felt like I was Daisy in that moment, and like how, you know, things are going to be different, which gives me vague hope that like there's going to still be Shield-esque shows that we're still going to get to have. Maybe some of the characters will be in it, although I'm trying not to get too actually hopeful about that. But you know, you're not going to lose Marvel TV. Things will be different, but it will be okay, and things change, and that's okay. And like, I struggle with that. But just when Daisy was getting upset and being like, but you're my family, and just, I don't know who I am without you. Like, I don't know who I am without Daisy and Shield. I'm not even lying. So I just think that was such a beautiful scene, and the way Mac was able to kind of acknowledge what she was saying, but be like, well, you do know who you are, you're an awesome person, like, you will be okay, and that we will still be family, that won't change, you know, it will be different, but it will be okay. And I really loved that. And then I loved the fact that Daisy was like kind of looking to Sousa as though, okay, things can be different, but they can be good, and that is Sousa. And that conversation was everything to me. And then the other conversation that was everything to me was Mac and Sousa, when he was like, Big Brother mode activated, what are your intentions? And I love the whole thing where at first Sousa was like, me intentions, no. Probably because he thinks, oh, there's no way she'd be interested in me, you know, like, I like her, but I'm not gonna be interested in that whole, when Mac was like, oh, you know, just the whole concept of, she's been through so much, she's been hurt so much, and they had to watch while Lincoln died, and you know, while Sousa can't ever help that not happening again, because, you know, Lincoln wasn't like, well, I'm gonna go hurt Daisy by dying now, have a good day, you know, like, if that situation happened, Sousa would obviously want to sacrifice himself to save Daisy, to save everyone, because he's a good person, damn these good people. But they watched that pain, and it's, like I said before, one of my absolute favourite things that the show has done, or my least favourite things the show has done, is killed Lincoln. In the sense that, like, I was a sobbing, wailing mess. I was not okay. I almost couldn't watch season 4. I was that broken up about it. But was the fact that they've let Daisy have the time to grieve. They've acknowledged how significant Lincoln was to her. They've acknowledged that love. They haven't tried to be like, beginning of season 4, she's with Robbie now. I could never ship them. They actually became a no TP for me, just because people were shipping her with him so hard. And at first I was like, well, yeah, maybe in the fullness of time I'd be here for that. And by the end of him being in it, I was like, I hate him. I liked him. But I was like, the idea of them together, no. Because she was so clearly still grieving. But the show has acknowledged that throughout. You know, every season up till this one, Lincoln has been mentioned by name. And that is so important to me because it's realistic. A lot of TV shows, you know, someone's like dying because someone they love has just died. They're sobbing, they're breaking their hearts out. 3 episodes later, they're like, oh, that boy's cute. And it's like, no, that's not what happened. So I'm really thankful to them that then they haven't left it. And even Daisy falling for Sousa doesn't mean she doesn't care about Lincoln, because it's realistic. Like, I remember when, like, when I was like, oh, I don't want her with Robbie, I was like, I don't want her to never be with anybody. I don't want her with anyone right now. It wouldn't be healthy. So I've really loved that. And I think it's happened in the fullness of time. And Max, you know, she's been hurt before, and she's opening up to someone, and I'm so glad that she's willing to risk that. It's just everything to me, because that's me. I was Mac in that moment, like, just loving Daisy so much and not wanting to be hurt, but being so proud of her and happy for her that she was willing to take that step. Just, they've done it so well. Like, given that I had gone from being like, I hate Shield, how could they kill Lincoln, to being like, okay, well, you know, I'm still not happy that you killed Lincoln, but you've dealt with it better than any show has ever dealt with killing off a character I've loved before, and I'm okay with it now. Like, I'm not okay with it. In this universe, Lincoln's gonna be alive as far as I'm concerned now. He won't be with Daisy, but he'll be living his life, so that's okay. But just, oh, it was everything, that conversation. And, you know, when Sousa was like, you're threatening me, and he was like, no, the whole team will kill you, and we have lots of weapons. That just, oh, the whole team just, it was so true, because they all have had to watch Daisy suffer. They've all wanted her to be happy and seen her as she put her own happiness aside time and again to be there for everyone else. And I just love that moment, that quiet moment of acknowledging how much Daisy has suffered, and of just saying that they're all there for her and that they will hurt Sousa if he does anything. And of course Sousa was like, well, yeah, I would never hurt her, and he wouldn't. And then I love the Man Out of Time and Quake. Like, I'm here for that spin-off show, okay, next week? you can announce it, we're all good. It was everything. And then when he mentioned Quake, and like, because superhero names are ridiculous, all of them are. Like Spider-Man is ridiculous. He looks nothing like a spider, he just has webs. You know, like every single one of them, if you take a superhero name out of its context, it's ridiculous. And so Quake is is a really silly name. And I love that Susan was so tickled by it, and just that Mac was then just laughing away at it. That was everything. And then, because Susan's like, he's such a kind of like serious person, I suppose, like when he doesn't know you. I think he's definitely someone that when he first meets you, he's not gonna like let himself be loose, but now he's like with Daisy. But Matt, like, I just love them giggling away at Daisy and how silly her superhero name was. And then when he was teasing her about it, that was so everything. And you know, the press called me that. I didn't do it. And then she's like, yeah, because you can Quake me. It was everything. It was so sweet. It was just, oh, there are no words for what that did to me. Like, it was so cute. And I really thought we were going to get a Daisy and Sue's first kiss, okay, that he remembered. I really thought that was going to happen, and it didn't. And I had to watch Cora kiss Nathaniel. Like, my eyes had to see that, but you didn't give me Daisy and Susan kissing. Shield, we need to have words. I need at least like multiple romantic moments in the finale, even though there's not time for that, but I'm okay. So yeah, that was just what my heart needed after falling apart in the last episode, after falling apart with Lincoln. Like, I needed that, and I'm so thankful for it, and just, I'm a mess. I cannot wait to rewatch those scenes and just all of it, and whew, this episode was so good. This show, like, I love the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going out on a high. I love the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is not a show that has outstayed its welcome. It's not a show that has gone on and become bad because it's gone on too far. Now, in my personal opinion, this show can never have got bad. It's just too good. But I'm really sad it's ending, and oh, it's going to be so hard to say goodbye. But yeah, this was such a good episode to lead into the finale. We began to get answers about Fitz, but they didn't give us all the answers. We got emotional moments. We got just the balls are all now rolling into the finale. I'm here for this. And the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been like wiped out, I genuinely don't know where the show can go from here, because I was kind of thinking that maybe they were going to end up in like the MCU, that maybe it was going to be like, oh, it was actually, you know, they're what created the MCU. Well, but like, so that if there was to ever be any more integration between the two, it would make sense. And I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. can rebuild. That's not impossible. There would have been agents and people that were not on base, but there wouldn't have been many. So I genuinely don't know what's going to happen if we're going to go back even further in time to stop that from happening. Like, paradoxes. So yeah, I'm so intrigued with where the show's going to go. I'm still really frightened. I'm glad the show outright just said, yes, this is a different timeline to the one we left. Yes, that timeline is still out there somewhere, but we're here now. Like, I think we needed that clarification because it was very muddly and confusing, and, you know, part of me was still hoping that we could like put the pieces back and get our timeline back, but no. It's fine. The records of those that exist are in the original timeline, which still happened, but they're going to be in a new timeline now, and that's fine because Daisy's going to exist in it. It's all good. But it's very stressful as this final season, and I'm genuinely not sure if I'm going to be okay after the next episode because it's the end of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been such a part of our lives for the past 7 years, 8 years even. It's just such an important show to me, and it hasn't always been perfect, and that has never mattered, so I am a mess. So yeah, this was a brilliant episode. If you would like to watch my unedited version, please go to my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.